the Last Seed podcast. It's your boy John with my guy Ty. So before we start off here, hit that like button and also to hit that subscribe button as well. If you're watching live, great. If you're watching later, that's great as well. Hopefully you catch us before this week's slate of games. But let's hop right into it. Let's just start. We're going to talk about the Bills' past later on. Okay, there's been a big NFL story this week. Everyone's been talking about it. Philip Rivers came out of retirement. 5 years retired, almost 5 years.
Mhm.
We got to put that in there, okay? But what? So we were talking about this when it was happening Monday. You didn't believe me at first, I think.
I don't think I
And
believed anyone.
yeah, like definitely a crazy story. I you know how pumped I am about it. You know I'm a big Philip Rivers guy, always have been.
Mhm.
What what is your whole thinking about it? Like, do-
I mean, good for him. Good for the Colts. Good for their fans if they're excited. Personally, I don't really understand it. Um, I get it. That's the thing. I get it, but I don't understand it. If that makes sense. I get it because okay, he's been in the offense. If it's the same offense 5 years later, he's been in the locker room and stuff like that. I guess I could see if they brought him in as like an emergency quarterback, like Leonard just got taken off of the injury report, so he
Mhm.
must be good to go. I could see if they brought him in and be like, "Hey, if you want to play, worst case scenario, you're the emergency backup. If something, if Plan A goes wrong, or if even Plan A and B goes wrong, like you're the guy to go out there. Like you want to do that? All right, cool." But I mean, the fact that he's starting, like all this has happened, and it hasn't even been a week. Like you said, I remember, we were texting about it and you said this has probably been in talks like way longer than, just this week.
That's what I gather from it because Jones has been injured for the past few weeks. Richardson obviously had his mishap with what was it, the exercise band or
I think
whatever.
something happened, yeah.
Yeah, so something weird happened there. You have to wonder if at least even a month ago, maybe it was talked about as a possibility where, you know what I mean, Steichen maybe was texting with Philip Rivers, maybe it was some conversations about it, maybe saying like, hey, stay ready. Even at that point, you know what I mean, it makes it a little bit better, but still, I mean, like
Hmm.
even someone that does love Philip Rivers as much as I do, I would love to see him go out there tomorrow and the rest of the season just kill it, for all the grandpas out there. But it's a pretty wild. Nothing has been. I think it's also the 5 years thing. If this was like 2 or 3 years, maybe
Yeah.
it would seem a lot more plausible to a lot of people. Um, he even said like teams have contacted him to come out of retirement before. He said I think something of the 49ers a couple years ago,
Mm.
maybe more a couple years ago, when they lost Garoppolo, then Purdy was really
Oh
kind of
yeah.
known, so they were talking to him then. But yeah, I mean, to me, this is definitely a desperation move. I think even Colts admit that. They obviously don't think they have any shot with Riley Leonard starting the rest of the year. They're in a win now territory, and maybe it's just, hey, let's just throw a hail mary out there. If Phillips still got it, you know what I mean. We definitely have the team around. They have a solid team. You know what I mean. They have obviously Jonathan Taylor. You got some, great receivers on that team, in my opinion. But it's definitely be one of the it's definitely be the most interesting game this week.
Right, when is that? Is that at 1 o'clock game? What like do we know what time that game is?
It's at 4 o'clock. Good for us. So we
Oh,
get to
it's
watch.
at 4 o'clock. We can
So
watch it after.
yeah,
Um yeah, I just feel like there's gotta be something better out there. Like, I don't know. I mean, Richardson, like, is he done? Like, is he at the point where he physically can't play?
I
Or
yeah.
are they to where they're like, we just don't want him to play?
I think he physically can't because they were talking like he can't really even see too good right now.
Oh, okay, okay. Because
Yeah,
I was gonna say, if you have this guy who's like ready to go, and you're just purposely not playing him, like what a kick in the head that is.
yeah. Like if I completely agree with that. Like I love this story more than anyone. But if Anthony Richardson is able to play, you might as well just play him.
Right.
But yeah, just like all the things that have led to this, happening is just crazy. Like the domino effect, it's pretty wild. Like we've never seen anything like it. Um,
Hmm.
it'll be very interesting the narratives either way. If he goes out there and plays well, like it's not even going to just speak to him, but I don't. You have to wonder what can of worms it opens up because all of a sudden you're talking about we've seen a lot of quarterback struggle this year. I would say this has been a really bad year for quarterback play as a whole in the NFL. If this dude comes off the couch after 5 years and plays good against top defenses,
Right.
it's a really huge indictment on the rest of the NFL, in my opinion.
Yeah, for sure, and it's like for Riley Leonard's, standpoint, I mean, we got to see him play when we went to Notre Dame, so that was cool. And then,
Mhm.
he got to stay right in Indiana or Indianapolis, sorry, um, with the Colts. And with him, it's like, if he's good to go and they're just like, hey, we're bringing in 44-year-old Philip Rivers who hasn't played in 5 years, like what a gut punch that is to him.
Yes.
But if they're more concerned like about his knee or his injury and they're like, "Hey, like, let's get you healthy and then like maybe we have something." But I can't see them starting Rivers for a week or two and then going back to Leonard.
No. Well, the thing is, too, Rivers isn't coming out of retirement unless he's playing. He's
Right.
not. He's not giving up that Hall. He said it didn't matter to him, but let's be real here. Like he's not giving up his Hall of Fame. You know what I mean? What's it called? Not credentials, but
I know what you're trying to say, yeah.
yeah, like he's not giving up the ability to go in the Hall of Fame this year or in the next couple of years if he's just gonna get back up. So it had to full on be like, hey, you know what I mean? If you're good to go this week, Philip, you know what I mean? You're playing. So
Right.
I mean,
Yeah, I mean, I feel bad for Riley Leonard. I feel like, this would be it's unfortunate the circumstances, but what a great time for him to be like, "Hey, listen," or for him to show what he has like, "Hey, like we need to win. To keep the playoff hopes alive and stuff like that. Like, here's your chance to go out there and we can really see what we have in this guy. And you're not even giving him a chance."
now something I was thinking about. Do you think Shane Steichen's job is on the line?
Uh, Not necessarily, just because given the circumstances, like this team was 8-1. Your
Yeah.
quarterback, anybody's quarterback that gets hurt, you're gonna assume that they're not gonna be playing as well when you're without your starting quarterback. Um, I mean, and they have just declined. I mean, the Colts are on like what a 3 or 4 game losing streak.
Hmm.
Who knows? Like they could very well lose out like with their schedule that they have left.
I just bring up the possibility of it being that because let's just say hypothetically Shane Steichen is a hot seat, whether it's right or wrong, whatever. Um, let's just say he just has like no hope in like Riley Leonard. Not like, no hope, but I think he's a raw quarterback prospect myself. Like
Oh yeah.
to me, when we watch him, I think he's a great college quarterback. I don't know if he's ever going to translate to the NFL. Obviously, he's a really athletic and stuff like that, but I don't think he's really going to comprehend NFL defenses at least yet. Maybe down the road, I think he'll get there and be better.
Mhm.
But if you're Steichen and if you're on the hot seat, hypothetically, would you rather go out on the hand of Riley Leonard or Philip Rivers, hoping that you know what I mean? He's still got something left, a guy you trust. You know what I mean? Obviously, with working together for him for so long, I mean, it's just a possibility, in my opinion.
Well, yeah. I mean, maybe if a higher up saying like, "Hey, man, you got to win now,"
Yeah,
like this is your only chance, and maybe he just hit the panic button. He's like, "All right, I'm gonna do whatever I can."
yeah,
So,
like
I mean, I wish Rivers, the best and success. I don't want him to go out there and just like get annihilated and play terrible. Because I mean, obviously, that's one of the quarterbacks we got to see like in our whole childhood was like, was Philip Rivers and Brady and those type of guys. So I mean, it was definitely cool. We technically we saw his last game. Well, I mean, we thought it was his last game.
that's
Um,
the only thing I'm so upset about is that actually so like I love Philip Rivers and stuff like that. One of my favorite quarterbacks. I've always been happy that like okay, I was one of the few people that saw his last game live in person.
mhm.
Yeah, doesn't look like that's gonna happen anymore.
Yeah, but I mean, that was like, I mean, who knows? I mean, it's still, obviously, it's still a great memory, but we'll see. I mean, he could come back and just play the remainder of the season, or like, is he going to come back and next thing you know, he's signed and he's the starting quarterback next year. So,
I think this is it. I don't see any world where he actually comes back next year. I
no,
don't know.
I don't either. But at this point, who knows? Like you said, so
Oh man. So speaking from his legacy perspective, do you think part of it was this too? Now, there's been people back and forth saying like whether he's a Hall of Famer or not. Do do you think he's a Hall of Famer now with the credentials that he has?
Honestly, I'm not even like super familiar with like all his like just off the top, like his passing yards and stuff
Mhm.
like that. I mean, obviously that was a different era. I mean, he was never a running quarterback or anything like that. So obviously, if you have a dual threat, you could be like, well, this guy's better than him because
Mhm.
he's got the rushing yards. I mean, I think eventually he would have got in. Um, I don't think he's like a first ballot or anything like that. But I feel like he would get in. But I don't know. I mean, is he doing this because he loves the game? Is he doing this because he feels like, hey, maybe I need more help getting into the Hall of Fame? Like, who knows? Like,
It could be a little bit of both because
right.
look, if this dude actually comes back, I think even if he gets them to like a conference championship game or something like that, does something like legendary, he's going
Hmm.
like
Yeah.
I definitely wonder if that like weighed on his mind, like saying like, "Hey, this could be one last thing for my legacy to put me over the top." I think the
Yeah.
Colts team ready to go. I mean, he's definitely got a lot of belief in himself. I will say, if anyone can do it, I think it's him.
Yeah. I mean, like we said, we'll see. I mean, I'll definitely tune in. I mean, you'll be getting highlights all over the place the second he completes a pass.
So,
So,
and there have been videos of him like practicing throwing and stuff like that with the team.
uh
It's
huh.
pretty wild. Like, imagine like being one of those players in the locker room. It's like, wait, we're Philip Rivers is coming in.
Right.
uh,
But
but
yeah, I
it's
mean, it's a wild story. We'll, obviously we'll see where it goes. But what do you think? Should we transition into some Bills talk or?
yeah. Let's do it. We got a big game.
All right.
I've just been sideswiped by that whole story. It's
I
been
think we all have. So.
especially of all weeks. Like the Bills play the Patriots basically for the division. I mean, I know the Bills would still need help after that, but
Mhm.
the Bills lose this week. Division's out of the question. You got to win
Right.
this.
Right.
So obviously, we watched that first game against the Pats. It was about a couple months ago.
Yeah, it was
I
like what, week 5 or something like that.
Yeah. So both teams have definitely changed since then. Some things are still the same. Uh,
Hmm.
let's go through that first matchup. So, what was what was something that you remember of that matchup that we have to watch out for? This week.
Hurting ourselves. I mean, we turned the ball over, I think, like 3 times.
Mhm.
Um, you know, Diggs did his thing, carving up the middle and stuff like that. But, at the end of the day, um, they didn't really run the ball that much
No.
from what I remember. I mean, Ramondre Stevenson and Henderson each had like a handful of carries, but I think maybe combined they were probably both under like 20 or 20 carries total.
Hmm.
Like it might even been like less than like 15.
Right.
Um, so they didn't run the ball much. I think they're going to try to do that now. Henderson, he's looking great.
Yeah, that's
Um,
since our
yeah,
first.
so we got to watch out for that. But yeah, the first game I feel like it was more just like doing stuff to ourselves, like the turnovers, the penalties. With all that being said, we only lost by 3 on like a last second field goal. So I mean, I think that was literally one of those games where it was more we lost it than they won it, if that makes sense. And that's not like obviously like okay, Alexa's apparently chiming into our podcast, but it's not that like I don't have that like hate for like the Patriots and stuff. Like growing up, like that was always the team that was better than us. Like Brady couldn't stand them and stuff like that. I feel like that's like kind of past now. Like it's like good for them. They got their quarterback and stuff like that. It's no hard feelings. And I'm not trying to take anything away from them beating us and or trying to like sound like it wasn't like oh this or that. But I feel like it was more we beat ourselves.
Yeah, I pretty much agree with that. Yeah, and I don't want to discredit New England or anything. Obviously, they've had a great season. They're what a lot
Right.
who obviously they're where they are. You know what I mean, for a reason. You know what I mean. So
Mhm.
not to say they're not a good team. I don't see them as a threat or anything. But I will say, out of all our losses, I feel it's like the least, quote unquote, like least legit loss. Like I felt
Yeah.
Miami outplayed us, Atlanta outplayed us, and Houston outplayed us. That I can
Right.
say face. New England,
Yeah.
I feel more so like you said, we kind of shot ourselves in the foot a lot. Definitely a lot of bad turnovers, bad mistakes, and you know what I mean. They won on a last second field goal. Um, obviously, this game has big implications. Henderson's playing a lot better, like you said. I think that's going to be something that's going to give us some trouble in this matchup that I'm worried about. Because I think they finally figured out that he's a lot more talented than Ramondre Stevenson. I don't know why it took him that long to figure it out. You know, I guess Vrabel's just an old school coach having the rookie earn his stripes,
Yeah,
but
makes
but
sense.
but
So
yeah,
what do you think about this week? I mean, obviously, like you said, both teams have changed from week 5 or whatever it was. Obviously, we know they're going to try to get Henderson involved. I mean, well, they should at least.
mhm.
But from like the Bills standpoint, like, what do you think? I mean, obviously, we have like guys who played, you know, week 5 that aren't playing now because of injury and stuff like that. But you think we're better off as a team right now than we were? Because obviously, like, I felt like our team was healthier back then, but we were basically playing carefree football.
Yeah, I hate to say it, but I don't really think we are in a better position right now because, like you said, because of the injuries and stuff like that. I think this game's definitely gonna be an uphill battle. You know,
Mhm.
I know we're listed as the favorites right now. Honestly, I don't really believe that. I think we're slight underdogs in this game. I think it's gonna be a close one, but it's tough. We're just missing so many guys on defense still. I still see a lot of flaws with this team. The Bills' way to win, I feel, is going to be a lot of what you saw last week. Was our defense may not be great, but maybe if we get those timely turnovers, it's going to be huge.
Yeah.
Josh is going to have to be Superman again. I mean, I hate to say it like that, but I
Hey,
don't.
whatever works.
Yeah, whatever works. But I just don't know if it's really sustainable to ask Josh to keep being Superman each week. Eventually, it's gonna catch up with us, and we're gonna face a team that where they're so good that even if Josh is Superman, that
Yeah.
it won't matter.
Right. Honestly, I mean, I think it'll be one of those like just tough, dirty games. Um, but I mean, coming off of what they did last week, I mean, I got high hopes for the offense. If you're New England, I'm sure you're probably focusing on like, okay, let's put a spy on Allen, let's contain Cook if we can. But the thing is, man, the play action and stuff like that was working, especially last week. That's what I'm really focused on this week is more like how are guys like Knox, who had a hell of a game. I mean, he had the best game of his. I don't even want to say his season. It's probably the best game of his last like 2 or 3 seasons.
Yeah, it was.
So shout out to him. Um, Kincaid's back. Hopefully he's getting healthier. And I just want to see like what that middle, like just eat up the over the middle, man.
Mhm.
Just eat it up, and then go based off that. And if they're gonna let you throw the ball, just hey, keep throwing the ball. When Josh takes what he gets, and it's those 5 to 7, 8 yard, like plays just over the middle. I feel like that's when we're playing like turnover free football and stuff like that. And when he tries to force too much, like Josh still has that like rookie Josh in him. And what I mean by that is like every once in a while he's like, let me play with fire for a second. Let me see if I can get away with just like throwing a dart into somebody who's like double covered.
That touchdown to Shakir, that was a dart. That was one of the best throws I ever seen.
Yeah, that was sick. And I mean that was fourth down, right? I'm
Yeah,
pretty sure. So it's like
what you
you
needed.
can't you can't not throw the ball.
Hmm.
Like, even if that ball gets intercepted, like, yeah, it looks bad because you threw interception, but you have to at least throw it.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was a hell of a throw. Um, man, I mean, we're probably gonna need some of that tomorrow.
One thing I will say is in our favor is they said ever since week 9, the Patriots have the second worst run defense in the league. So that is something that really does play into our favor. Hopefully, that's a trend that does keep continuing. But looking at past week's box scores and stuff like that, you can see that they have really struggled against the run. So if you can pound Cook all day as well, I mean, you got to do it.
Who's that guy? One of their really good players is out. Is it Milton Williams or something like that? Am I
I,
saying that right?
I believe so. Yeah.
I guess he's like an absolute stud.
Hmm.
So him being out is huge.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, so kind of evens out with guys on our defense being out. You know what I mean? No Oliver, no Hoyt. I mean, we can keep going on guys that are out. Is Benford's out this week too, right?
Not officially.
Not official.
Um, so hopefully he'll be all right. I mean, he's been playing like an absolute dog lately. So
Yeah, if Benford's out, I really have my doubts that we can stop this New England team consistently. We're just gonna have, if that's the case, we're just gonna have to hope you get enough stops, maybe a turnover or two, and just hope Josh can take over the game like he did last week.
Right, I would say the only hope I look at if Benford's out is Benford's an outside corner.
Hmm.
The New England's best receiver is Diggs. He's
Right.
primarily in the slot. So if he's playing in the slot, Benford's not going to be on him anyway.
Hmm. But
So you're hoping that, one of these backup guys is going to be able to come in and, okay, Harrison's going to have to play the outside. They're probably going to pick on him,
yeah,
but you'd be like, hey, you're a first round pick for a reason. You got to go out there and show them why.
but I love how we've been using Benford lately too. But we've been using him like corner blitzes and stuff like that too to get pressures and stuff like that. I was watching a little bit of John Gruden's preview, and he said that's like been like a huge difference in our defense in recent weeks. Is we're using like those corner blitzes with Benford, and but yeah, like you said, even though he's not really a slot corner to stop Diggs, I just like using him on like things like that we can trick May and you know what I mean, maybe get some bad decisions out of him.
Yeah, that's a good point. I wasn't even thinking so much on like you said, the blitzing part and stuff like that. Because I feel like it's not very often we really blitz, or at least it doesn't seem like it.
Yeah, we've
Um,
been using Benford a lot differently lately, so
yeah, I think they finally are getting him going. He's been great. I think he just kind of had like a little slower to the start this year.
you're right.
But I mean, we all know who he is.
Yep.
He's one of the most underrated corners in the league. Like he doesn't get talked about enough, but that's how we like it.
Yep. Okay, it doesn't talked about enough means we can get him on a cheaper contract usually. So
And he got a good contract, and for one of the top corners, that was a steal for what he got.
for sure. But let's get into prediction time now. Uh,
Come on,
let's
I
start
got high hopes for you, Johnny. Every week we come on here and Johnny tells me it's going to be a closed game, except for like one or two times.
I think it's
I
gonna
need
be
a, I need a little bit of more optimistic, John.
we're gonna end with you then because I think you're gonna be more optimistic than me.
Yeah, I'm talking like 55-0. No, I'm kidding.
Bills win 33-30.
Man, you're giving New England a lot of credit
I
for
don't
their offense.
sorry, I don't trust it. I
No,
I
I get that. I don't trust their offense to where if it's a game like last week against Cincinnati, I don't trust New England's offense to be able to battle in a shootout like that.
at
Not not
home
saying
though,
not saying they can't, but to me, I don't feel like I can trust them just yet. And a reason why is because Drake May is I don't know if he's one of the most sacked quarterbacks in the NFL. And one of the things he looks great, and I forget who it was said the thing that still looks like rookie Drake May is his decision making when it comes to taking sacks and trying to get the ball away. If we get Benford and we can do those corner blitzes and stuff like that, I feel like he's going to like take more sacks and stuff like that. Or maybe we can get him to a point where he's like, hey, I don't want to take these sacks. Let me just try throwing the ball. Maybe like a ball he shouldn't, like you said, if we can get those couple takeaways.
mhm.
Um, but yeah, I mean, I don't know. I honestly I can see the Bills putting up like 27 to 30 plus. Like I think their offense was just I don't see them really slowing down too much. Um as far as New England, I mean of course I think the Bills are gonna win. I would say more like 27, maybe like I don't know, 27-19, 27-20 ish. So still maybe like a one score game or maybe like just outside of a one score game, like a 9 point, like something like I could see something like that.
You're way more optimistic than me.
Yeah, and I'm never wrong.
Are you? Aren't you though? I mean, you were
I
optimistic.
predicted the Bills were going to win every game this season. They've only lost four. The odds are still good.
So good. You were more optimistic about me against Houston. Look how that turned out.
Listen, we had plenty of chances to win that game.
We shouldn't have had many chances to win that game. We got outplayed. We got lucky. We got a kick return return for a touchdown.
Yeah, but hey, that's the past. Let's hope we see Houston. I want Houston coming to Buffalo in the AFC Championship game.
So let's talk. We'll end off the show talking a little bit about that. So the AFC playoff picture is kind of crystallizing. We kind of see like possible matchups and stuff like that. So most realistically, we're probably not winning the division. Even if we do win this week, you never know. But hey, we're betting on Tua in a cold, most likely.
I'll buy a Tua jersey.
You'll buy. I'm not betting on Tua in the cold.
Either am I.
I'm more confident in us winning tomorrow than you know what I mean. What the Patriots messing up against the Jets or the Dolphins. So
Right.
for now, I'm saying we're not winning division. Hopefully that changes.
Okay,
But
so you're thinking we get like what, the 5th seed?
yeah. So
Okay.
are you in the same camp as me that you feel getting 5 is way better than 6 or 7?
Yeah, because I feel like if we get 5, we're gonna end up playing like Pittsburgh or something like that.
Exactly. Yeah, that's what I've been saying.
And pack your bags. So if we're going to Pittsburgh round 1, I'm going.
You're going?
I'm going, dude.
I might have to.
As long as tickets are $3,000,
I mean, Pittsburgh playoffs. I mean, that's going to be a pretty penny.
it might be. I'll ask Santa, see what he can do. But
uh,
but yeah, I mean, I would take that route, or as much as we don't have success against Jacksonville.
yeah. Phew.
But honestly, if you get, I mean, you're not getting Lamar, Mahomes, and Burrow all in the playoffs this year.
Right.
You might not get any of them. So
No.
go Steelers. Not be, let the Steelers keep winning. Hopefully Cincinnati knocks off Baltimore tomorrow. And a quick thing I want to say is like, if this is the year where those 3 aren't in the playoffs and people are like, "Oh, Allen's got the easy ride. The AFC is easy now." But if it's so easy, why are these guys out of the playoffs?
Yeah, that and also too, like I feel our roster's so flawed. Like
Right.
I,
And the thing is, it doesn't matter how you do it. You can only play who's on your schedule. You can only play the players that are in the game that game. So honestly, yeah, I mean, if we don't win the division, like I would definitely take a 5th seed, and hopefully, you're playing like Pittsburgh, who we beat once. Maybe you play like a team like Denver or the Chargers round 2 or something like that. Obviously anything could happen. There's no such thing as an easy win in this league. So
I definitely don't want Houston again. I feel that's just a rough matchup for us.
yeah,
That
the only way I'll take Houston is if it's at home.
Yeah, I would feel much better about Houston at home for sure. Going into Houston, we haven't won in Houston since 2006.
Yeah, I don't like that.
No, I don't like that
So,
either. Um,
but
I
yeah,
definitely
who knows? Obviously, we still got 4 more games to worry about, and a lot can change. I mean, you've seen like the Colts, for example, who we talked about earlier. They were 8-1. Like
yeah,
people were talking about them winning the whole AFC.
and they
Like
were right. They were looking, and it wasn't a bad take at the time. They were
no, not at all. Yeah, they look great. But it just shows you any given week, what can happen. This year, I feel like I'm sure it happens every year, but this year in particular, I mean, every week I feel like there's like 3 or 4 upsets where you're just like, how did that even happen?
So speaking of like, how did that even happen? So I was looking back. Do you remember the Raiders beat the Patriots week 1?
I do vaguely remember this.
Yeah, like doesn't
And the
that
Raiders, no offense, the Raiders, oh my gosh, dude. I watched some of their games and I'm like, it reminded me of like drought Bills years where I'm
yeah,
like, this is the most hardest thing to watch.
yeah. I felt like that about the Cardinals with Kyler Murray.
And the Cardinals, so go Jacoby Brissett. By the way, I know he's playing Houston, but maybe if they're down 40, he'll sling for like 500 yards. So
Hey, I mean, dude, he's been slinging it. But I think we're gonna end the show on that. So we both, hey, I still got the Bills winning tomorrow. Ty's got them winning tomorrow. Do you have them winning tomorrow? Let us know in the comments. But until next time, peace out. Go Bills.